SPACs were super hot in 2020, 2021. We did 750 IPOs on NASDAQ back then. It was a record year for IPOs. Don't know if you'll see that year again in the near future, but that was what a year that was. And SPACs have existed in the market for 25, 30 years, so it's not a new phenomena like what many people think it is. Coming back from that hot SPAC market in 2020, 2021, it obviously went through a bit of a slowdown period. A lot of these SPACs were not performing well. The rules changed with the SEC. There's a lot of high redemption rates, which is still a challenge. So what we recommend companies while you're looking for a financial sponsor, don't just look at the money that you get along with it, because sometimes there's very little left at the table. But what you must look for is a partner who can come and take a seat at the board, help you with operational efficiency, introduce you to different partners in the industry, helps you with the business in a very broader sense, and comes as a true partner.
Well, we've had companies like CoinCheck and Webull took this route. When would you advise Asian companies to consider a route like this?
We've seen the track to market is sometimes faster. In those de-SPAC deals, established businesses could do this, someone with a good brand, and someone who, as I said, finds a good financial sponsor who will come and help you with all of the other stuff, rather than just putting in money for the fight.
We have a few minutes left, so I'm going to jump ahead. What are some of the early warning signs that a company may not be culturally or structurally ready for life as a public company?
I guess the biggest red flag is if you're not really prepared for an IPO, you don't have the corporate governance structure, you don't have an IPO team, and you're not ready to run an efficient IR program, deliver your story in the best possible manner. That to me is really the biggest red flag. You need to go back to the drawing board and prepare. You do it once, you do it right. Another basic would be is just managing the expectations with the street. You need to build your estimates in a clear fashion. You need to understand how your business will perform in the next 6 months to 12 months, and you need to convey that story very well. We do an IR pulse survey globally, looking at 900 issuers, and some of the top challenges that IR officers or CFOs come back with is to just raise capital from international markets or securing capital from the generalist investors. Now, if you haven't figured that out, there's a lot of work to be done before you go public.
We have about 5 minutes left, so I've got one question and I have some closing comments. What do you think are the most important steps Vietnamese founders should take 2 to 3 years before the IPO?
Yes, I think on a high level, managing shareholder diversification, investor targeting, prioritizing correct regions or countries, just managing the overall corporate access program before you're public is some of the key issues companies can take. What has happened post MiFID II is brokers have gotten a little more expensive. They have their own commission structure. I'm not saying brokers are not important, they play an important role in this industry. But there's a lot of focus on having a corporate access team within the issuer community to focus on those meetings and attend those conferences and get that feedback. So to me, that is the most crucial while companies build those internal controls.
Yes, regarding the Japan side, there are so many people who have to contact with, and as I mentioned, in Japan we have a lot of retail investors, so that startups need to have more visibility in the Japanese market. So in that meaning, we are trying to connect those potential IPO companies to the Japanese corporates to make a cross-border business, to have more visibility in the Japanese market. And this is our first one. And we have some business collaboration with the digital and financial institutions like MEFG and such like the Megabank, major financial institution in Japan, and business development with Japan-related business development, and also security blockers that are underlighter. In Japan, we started news almost 2 years, one and a half years to 2 years for proliferation product and successful IPO in Japan. But stock exchange and listing examinations spend only 3 months. The other time, securities blockers had a pre-listing examination by underwriters side. And but they can shorten the period by using a casual contract before formal contract, so that we can invite the startup to the security blocker, potential underwriters and auditing firms. And so it is very much important to make a casual discussion in advance.
Thank you. We have a couple of minutes left. If you don't mind, I'm just going to stand for some closing comments for you. I actually got to participate here a couple of years ago. It's truly a privilege to be back here in Vietnam. And I would like to be able to tell you something that would be useful to you in helping you raise money. And you've heard from a lot of people today that have the money. And what I'd like to be able to do is impart to you some advice on how to get the money. And when you want to raise money, there's actually only 2 things you have to do, and you can raise as much as you want. Number 1, you have to be able to prove your science. If you're a biotech company, then produce the scientists and prove it to me. If you're a manufacturer, show me what makes your company special. And that's critical. And the other thing that you have to be able to do is you have to be able to prove to me how you can monetize this. A lot of times in science, there's solutions, they're not commercially producible. In distribution and manufacturing, there's a lot of times where you can produce a product, but you can't prove to me how you can distribute it. So you have to be able to prove your science to me, and you have to prove to me how you can monetize this in a period of time that I can return or give my investors a return. That said, if you can do those 2 things, you can raise as much money as you're going to need. You can do 2nd, 3rd rounds, and that's one way to be a successful company. The other thing I'd like to tell you is the key is in preparation. I met with a lot of Vietnamese companies last time I came here. I spent maybe 45 minutes or an hour with them. And the truth is, when you get to meet with investment bankers, you have 5 minutes. You may have an hour meeting, but you literally have 5 minutes before they actually make up their minds. So having well-planned business plans that are no longer than 1.5 pages long, and being able to get your elevator pitch down, because they have 20 deals that they're going to see other than yours. So being able to explain what makes your company special and how you can monetize that, I'll be generous, in less than 10 minutes, okay? You're fine. Because the other 40 minutes, the investment banker's mind is on the next deal. I hope you've learned something today. It is a pleasure and an honor to be back here, and I look forward to coming back again soon. I want to thank both the exchanges for participating. You're both great, thank you. And thank you all for having me here today.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you all.